I stay, will you stay? If I go, will you go? If I pay, will you play? Do you know what I know?
How's it going, everybody? It is Saiyan Prince back again with another video. In today's video, I thought I'd do an update on my ROG Ally. This is the original ROG Ally that I've had for, I guess, over a year and a half now, and this is probably my most favorite, most played handheld console that I own. I'm going to basically go through everything that I have on it, so it's going to be somewhat of a long video, but I'll also go ahead and leave timestamps down below, so you guys can just skip ahead to whatever you like. Alright, let's get into it. Okay, first thing you may notice is the accessories that I have on here. I do have some grips, and I will leave the grips down in the description below. I think these are J-Sax grips, but I'll have to double check on that. They're pretty good. I like them a lot. They fit pretty well. They're easy to get on. They're nice and comfortable. They soften the edges, so I know after a few hour play session, if you're going at it, it can be kind of rough on the edges, and so these softer edges just really made a big difference for me personally, and I honestly couldn't go back to playing without them. So the grips are really nice, very affordable if I remember right. They're just really nice grips. I'm gonna actually unplug this for a little bit so you guys can see it a little better. They've got that textured rubber grip there. Plenty of space in the openings to allow for your sticks to move and everything like that. Speaking of the sticks, I put some thumb caps on there. I will also link those down below if I can remember where I got them from. Pretty awesome. They add a little bit of extra texture. And another thing, I just can't go back because now I can grip these so easy on my thumb that it just makes it so convenient, especially when playing like shooters or any kind of fighting games or anything like that. The thumb grips are the way to go, and I went with all white for these to just kind of match the aesthetic of the Ally. Another thing that I added, excuse me, this is a huge thing for me personally, this kickstand. It doesn't seem like it would be that big of a deal, but honestly, I use the kickstand more than probably any other accessory that I have. It is one that can retract and detract, and it's tough too. I don't know how well you guys can see this, but it's like you actually have to like push it to get it to go in. It's very tough, and it's super minimalistic too. So I know a lot of the times when you get a kickstand, it has to be like, across the whole plate. It doesn't have to be that way with this particular kickstand. So check it out. I can just like that, or I can put it in and have it lay flat. So it's really convenient, and it's very easy to just pop it out. Super nice. I barely notice it at all unless I'm trying to use it. Really, really nice feature that I've added on the Ally. Continuing on with accessories, I did add a port cover, so it covers the rest of the port up top, which is pretty awesome. So now I don't have to fumble around when I'm trying to find the actual port to plug in my unit. So pretty cool stuff there. Continuing on with accessories, I also have my case. So this case I will link down below. I don't remember what it's called, but I will link it. And it is the perfect carrying case for the Ally. This thing is awesome. This is what I carry it in every day. It has a little pouch here and a strap. Basically what I do for the Ally is I will take my Ally, put it in standby mode, and I will take my little cleaning cloth here, lay it right there, and close it up just like that, and it zips up, and it is perfect, nice, tidy. Really nice cover. Okay, so that is one other accessory that I have. I also have a Bluetooth keyboard in case I ever need it. Now, I did make it to where this fit in here really tight, but it works perfectly. And the way that it's set up is it actually doesn't hit anything when it's laid in here. It just lays like on top of that, see? So, and I've got the little instruction manual there for it. This thing is awesome. I will leave a link for this as well, just like everything else. You just can open it up, and I just leave it on all the time. It has an auto sleeper, so it will sleep after a few minutes of inactivity, and I can just bust this out, immediately start typing, or use the mouse. It's just a really convenient way to be able to use keyboard functionality for the Ally. So that's pretty much it as far as the accessories go. All of the little things that go along with the Ally that just really make it my console of choice, the console that I play the most. I mean, more than my Nintendo Switch, more than my PS5, more than any other console that I own. This is what I play the most, is the ROG Ally. So let's get into some of the games now. I'm going to show you guys some of the games that I've got on here. I've got the system pretty loaded up at this point. I will be playing everything in turbo mode. So I'm going to have it plugged in, which is the 30-watt mode. Okay. And it shows turbo there. And I'll zoom in a little bit for you guys so you can get a better idea here. And again, guys, this is just me going to be just kind of showing off the Ally and going through some of the stuff that I have on the system. Just giving you guys an update on it. Okay? So, I have Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Sparking Zero, Spider-Man Remastered, both of the Red Deads, Ghost of Tsushima, Remnant 2, Fallout 3, the Begin Again mod pack, which is awesome. Definitely have to check that out if y'all haven't played it. Kingdom Hearts 3 with the DLC, Immortals, Phoenix Rising, Tomb Raider, Lies of P, Prince of Persia, Rogue Prince of Persia, Naruto, Cross Boruto, Fable Anniversary, Sunset Overdrive, Grounded, and Jade Empire, just because that is one from my childhood that I had to put on here recently. So most of my games are repacks, so I no longer have to deal with, launchers and the Steam launcher. A lot of the time when you go to launch a game like Red Dead Redemption 2, it will have to launch the Rockstar launcher and the Steam launcher. Well, I don't have to deal with that. It just launches my game. So I'll go ahead and click into this just to kind of give you guys a little bit of gameplay on some stuff here so you guys can see what it's all about. If you're possibly considering getting an Ally, I mean, I think they're definitely worth it. It's really a fantastic console. And if you notice, I don't have AFMF running for this particular title. I'm not sure if it supports it, but the game plays really well, even without it. And I may skip through some of this loading stuff so we can just jump right into it. Okay, and I'm going to try and keep it as still as possible here. But I'm playing behind a camera, so y'all bear with me. I just kind of want you guys to see some of the gameplay here. It's pretty smooth.
Damn, that's a fine old night.
And I usually play as a good guy. Y'all don't get me wrong here. Just doing a little bit of gameplay. You'll get some chop here and there. I've got it running. Let's see. I think 720 upscaled to 1080p using RSR. But AMD's Fluid Motion Frames, AFMF is not active for this game, and it usually is. Okay, so that's where you'll basically get the additional frame generation for a lot of games, and it's really something else. It's pretty cool. And it's going to tell me about my save. That's cool with me. It's not a big deal. And yeah, so that's a little bit of Red Dead. I just wanted to show you guys. It plays pretty well on the ROG Ally. Really, very little issue with the unit. Some of these birds. Get them. Got him. Like I said, I'm behind the camera. Y'all don't judge me too hard here. Okay, yeah, so you guys get the idea. I'm going to exit out of this. I figure I'll show a couple of PC games, but you guys are mostly going to know what you're getting into. It's going to play all the PC games, right? You're not going to have any trouble playing PC games. You may have to mess around with some additional settings or whatever, but it's not going to be anything too complicated. One of the coolest things that I like about my ROG that I see a lot of people not really utilizing is the auto feature. So I have my control mode set to auto, and it just basically stays like that, guys. So whenever I install a new game, I will put it into my control panel, or Armory crate rather, and I will designate a controller profile for it. So whenever I launch a game, it knows that I want to use controller and not keyboard and mouse, for example. So just something pretty cool there that I don't see a lot of people utilizing, which is strange to me. But let's check out a little bit of Sparking Zero. This just came out not too long ago. I've been loving this. Been having a lot of fun with this one. And it's got the FPS at the top right for this one. Now, if you'll notice, AMD's fluid motion frames is enabled here, and I'm running it at 900p is what I have this one set to, but upscaled to 1080p, which is pretty sweet. Let's see if I can't get in a little bit closer here.
Yo! Okay, see ya! Hey!
Okay, I'm gonna give this one my best shot.
And when you have these games on PC, you can install mods as well, which is pretty cool. So I did put one mod on here. I'm not running a bunch of mods right this second, but I did put one mod on here. I believe it is for Bardock to make him Super Saiyan.
I'll take care of this!
Which is awesome. That's not in the game, which I think it should have been. I know it's not, you know, canon or whatever, but what is with Dragon Ball anymore, you know?
Frieza! You'll pay for what you've done!
Look how good it looks.
How uninteresting.
Not bad. You moron.
Would you mind piping down?
Die already!
Frieza's mad. Cannot get those vanishes.
Die already! I'm not done yet. Get lost! Is that all you got? You bore me.
Would you mind piping down?
Oh, he got me with that one.
Would you mind piping down?
Get me!
Oh, he's going sparking. Come on, Bardock, you can do it.
Forget it. You won't survive this time.
Ah,
Change everything.
do it.
Or fade as well.
I can't believe it got him. Raw ultimate. It's great. But yeah, you guys get the idea. I don't want to take too much time with the gameplay here, but the ROG Ally plays Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, no problem. It's 60 FPS. You're gonna have to mess with the settings a little bit.
Wow! This
to get it to be solid, but it's really quite good. Quite good. So I definitely recommend checking it out if you haven't yet. And again, you know, I didn't have to change any of my controls. You notice once I'm back on my home screen, it uses the mouse and keyboard layout. So no problems there. Yeah, these games, they all play great. Sunset Overdrive plays great. All of them really play really well. You guys get the idea for the PC games. Like I said, most of them are repacks, so I own these games on Steam and have uninstalled them from Steam because of all of the launchers, and they're just terrible. I hate having to enter my password in for this launcher just to launch another launcher that you have to enter your password in, and oh, you haven't played that game for this amount of time, so it's got to do a online verification, and it's a nightmare. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. So this is the way going forward. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of my big box setup as well. So I'm not going to install the new version right now. So Launchbox, big box, this is my emulators and ROM library. So this is, you know, I've got Nintendo Switch, Gamecube, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, original Game Boy, NES, Nintendo DS, 64, 3DS, MUGEN Fighters, which I need to probably fix the audio for that because that is too loud. I'm sorry about that. But it was just so cool. Look at this video. Look how sweet this is. Alright, sorry. I had to nerd out for a second. But isn't that awesome? Okay. Xbox 360. I think I only have like 1 or 2 games for Xbox 360. I'm not a huge fan of the Xenia emulator. But we'll get to that. Arcade emulation using MAME. Windows PC games in case I wanted to access them just from one place. Super Nintendo. PSP. PlayStation 3. Plays surprisingly well. Really good, actually. Really good. PS2, of course, probably my most played system in here. PS2. PlayStation 1. Or PSX. Dreamcast. Wii U. And back to Nintendo Wii. So those are all the consoles that I have on here, guys. And this is just one place that I can come to play all of my library. Now, this did take a substantial amount of setup. I did set this up. And I've basically copied this build from some of my arcades that I've built and so on and so forth. And made minor adjustments. So if I go into Nintendo Switch, it will show me my Nintendo Switch games that I can play here on the system. So Prince of Persia here. Prince of Persia Lost Crown. Fantastic game. Check this out. Let's do a little bit of this so you guys can kind of see what it's like. Playing some Switch emulation on the ROG Ally. And I'm using a smattering of emulators. Everything from, well, all the emulators that have come out that have been nuked over the last, you know, couple of years. I have their newest versions, their most optimized versions, and then I would use them basically for the games that they were best suited for. So some games I would use one emulator, where other games I would use another. So that's more or less how I handled it. Because some games just play some games better. And that's just what it is. And I can't really see the screen too good from back here, but I'm going to try and show you guys a little bit of gameplay. I don't think I'm very far in this playthrough. And as you can see, it works pretty well. I don't think I have any of the power-ups or upgrades where I have double jump yet, or an air dash. Nothing Nothing really cool just yet, but oh, I do have slide. I guess you get that right out the gate. Oh yeah, and this is where you'll get all the well, I don't want to spoil anything. The game is super good though, guys. You should definitely check out Prince of Persia Lost Crown if you're a fan of Metroidvanias, because it is so good. The combat's nice. Oh, he hits you back there too. Guess I need to dodge backwards with this guy. It's been a minute. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. But yeah, and then whenever I'm done playing a game, you know, like this Switch game, for example, I have my hotkey set up the exact same no matter which console I'm playing. I just press my two top buttons here, and it will close out no matter what the emulator, no matter what the game, it will close out if I press those two buttons at the same time. Another game we could check out, I guess, this one's pretty cool. This is Luminescent Platinum. This is a mod for Brilliant Diamond on Nintendo Switch, which is awesome. They sped it up to 60 FPS, added a bunch of Pokemon, made it more difficult, made the trainers way more intelligent in how they use their teams. There's so many changes that are in this definitive version, this definitive mod. And I mean, look how clean this looks. Isn't this sweet? And then probably turn up the brightness a little bit. Yeah, and like I said, no matter what the game is, guys, no matter what the game is, if it is in auto mode on my screen, my home screen, then it will automatically switch to the proper controller configuration of the game that I launch, no matter if it's a Xbox game or a Nintendo game. And I mean, just look how good this is. And you may notice how fast it is. Again, this is a mod of Brilliant Diamond, so this is probably the definitive way to play it. You know, you get all kinds of like character skins, access to Pokemon that you wouldn't have had access to otherwise, story beats from Platinum that weren't included, mystery gifts. I mean, you name it. I mean, and this is my team that I got here. Nothing too crazy, but I kind of wanted a widespread with the ghost, fire, rock, grass, water, and electric. So pretty cool. But yeah, check that out. If you guys haven't played Luminescent Platinum, currently it's the definitive way to play Brilliant Diamond, in my opinion. So like I said, I'm going to press these two buttons, and no matter what game I'm playing, no matter what system, it will always close it out. Same thing, you know, I've got Gamecube on here. If you guys wanted to see some of my Gamecube games, I've got the Naruto's, Clash of Ninjas, fantastic fighting games, truly underrated. Metroid Prime, of course, Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, all the Zelda games that you could imagine. I've got them all on one console. Avatar, Ultimate Spider-Man, Super Smash Brothers, Melee, Soul Calibur 2, Sonic 2, Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness. I actually have had this game for probably 20 years and never played it all the way through, so I'm working my way through this one. Pretty cool. I still have my copy of Coliseum too. It's scratched to hell, but it's I still got it over there. So I finished that one not too long ago. I don't have too many GameCube games, but if you guys have recommendations for GameCube games on here, let me know and I'll pop them on here. Going up to Game Boy Color. This is a Pokemon Blue version. This is a mod of Pokemon Blue. It didn't change anything other than making the game full color. And I took a video of this on the ROG Ally, and then pasted it in here so you guys could, you know, see it when you're scrolling through. Or if one of my buddies picks up the console and, you know, wants to see, oh, well, what's the difference with this, you know, Pokemon Blue? Well, they can kind of see it here. And you may notice, I mean, it's in full detailed color. I'm not sure how well it's coming through on the camera, but it is crisp. It's nice and crispy. Of course, I gotta have Crystal, yellow version, the trading card game, silver. This is red version in full color, so same thing as blue there. Prism, it's ROM hack. Got a little video snap of that one day when I was playing it. You know, just checking it out. Gold. This one's actually pretty cool. This is the trading card game 2, the Invasion of GR. So this was a sequel for Pokemon Trading Card that only came out in Japan, but there's a mod for it that makes it English and English compatible, and so that's what I have here. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Plays in English, so we can finally play that. And that's all I got for Game Boy Color. Again, guys, if you have recommendations, you know, please just drop them down in the description or in the comments below, and I will check them out. And while you're down there, go ahead and leave a like, hit subscribe. It helps me out a lot. It gives me some incentive to do these videos. All right, let's see. We've got Game Boy Advance. I've got quite a few Game Boy Advance. Everything from Aladdin to Dragon Ball Z, Boost Fury, fantastic. Supersonic Warriors, highly underrated. Taiketsu, that one's not that great, but I got it. Legacy of Goku 2. Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure. I love playing this on my arcade. I've got a couple of arcades that I built, and I love playing this one on the arcade. It's so much fun. Final Fantasy VI. For some Frogger Adventures, Golden Sun, and the sequel. Zelda 4 Swords. The Minish Cap. And as you guys notice, when I'm scrolling through with most of these, it shows a little video snap of what it is. It shows the box. I mean, this is cool stuff. It'll usually show the cartridge, what it looks like. All the artwork's cool stuff. I have a video on my channel showcasing how to set this all up as well. So feel free to check that out. I may even leave a little card for it up here if I can figure out how to do that. Let's see. We got the Star Wars games. One of these was in Spanish, but I guess I changed the box art, which is good because it snuck past me, the Spanish box art. Some Lord of the Rings. Yep, I had those for a long time. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. Mario Golf. Mario Kart. Tennis. Mario vs. Donkey Kong. Then we got the Mega Man Zeros and the sequels. I gotta fix the clear logo for this one. I'm not sure. The rendering must have been too high for it to process for the second one. So we got 03, 04, Metroid Fusion. Fantastic Metroid game. Probably one of my favorites of all time. Naruto Ninja Council was cool for a little bit. Ninja 5-0, Pac-Man Collection. The Pokemon ROM hack, Pokemon Red Adventure. That one was pretty cool. It follows the manga. Pokemon Ash Gray ROM hack. Now see, I could go in and add video for these. I could splice YouTube video of gameplay of these, or I could go in and just record directly on the Ally, because the ROG Ally, remember, is a Windows 11 PC. So through and through. So if I wanted to, and I had the time and patience, I could go in and fill in the gaps here, because right now it's just showing an image that's been scraped from online. So Dragon Ball Z Team Training, this is really cool. This is like it's a Pokemon game, but instead of collecting Pokemon, you collect Dragon Ball Z fighters. And when you evolve, they transform, and it's really good. Highly recommend that one too. Pokemon Emerald, Fire Red, the Fire Red Rocket Edition, where you play as a bad guy from Gen 1. Fantastic game. Probably my favorite ROM hack. Pokemon Gaia. And then see here, I haven't done a clear logo, which, you know, doing these, this is what's called a clear logo here. See the difference, how it looks? right there. So the box art I was able to do, the screenshot I was able to do, but the clear logo takes a lot more time. If it's not already been done and it's not easily accessible, those are pretty difficult to do. I can do them in Photoshop. They just take a little bit of time. And this one I don't have any art for it, which was Pokemon Mega Power. Same thing with Orange Islands. Ruby version, Leaf Green has a video. Pokemon Sapphire has a video. Rayman 3. A lot of this stuff I was able to scrape, which is essentially like you just hit a button and it will scrape the artwork and stuff and put it all in the right place for you. But not everything gets scraped. Not everything gets recognized. And so in those cases, you kind of have to fill in the gaps yourself, which isn't hard to do. It can just be a little time consuming. But hey, it's your library, you know, and once you build it, you'll have it. You can share it between consoles. Sonic Advance. It's a pretty good one. Sonic Advance 2. One of my buddies plays this quite a bit. Sonic Advance 3. Spider-Man, Mysterio's Menace. Street Fighter Alpha was not scraped properly, but the game works fine. And then, of course, the Super Mario Worlds. Yoshi's Island. Super Mario 3. Street Fighter 2. Sword of Mana. Ninja Turtles 2. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. See, I've got a bunch of games here for Game Boy Advance. And I mean, they all play well. I mean, you know, I haven't had any troubles. I don't play all of them, but it's cool to have them, you know. So like I play Aladdin a good bit. I play Boost Fury a good bit. And again, I guess I can just show real quick just a little bit of gameplay. So if I were to hit, and I'll just show you guys, if I were to hit A, it brings me to my secondary menu, which is cool. And I can, you know, view a manual if the game has a manual. You know, I can open up the emulator. I can flip the box around, which is pretty sweet. You know, so if you wanted to check out the box, you definitely could. And you can, like, roll it here with the stick. So, it's pretty cool. Just an extra little thing about it. Nothing crazy. I can change which emulator I launch it with. But if I don't want to mess with any of that and I go back to this menu where I'm scrolling through my games, I can just simply just press X here and it'll load just the game. If I don't need to check out the manual or the box art or, you know, this or that. And all of this is customizable. So the controls, the everything, the clarity, you know, I can increase the resolution, I can change where I have like if it's 4:3 or 16:9, it doesn't look like I've integrated my save file onto here. So, and then I can use the stick to control the character, or I can use the D-pad because that's how I set it up. Sometimes I want to do one or the other. You know, so I don't like being cooped to one thing. And as you can see, it plays great. It's gonna play just fine, and this is a fantastic game. If you guys have never played this, you should definitely check it out. It's the sequel to Legacy of Goku 2. Okay, so I'm going to press these two. And once I press those two, right back to it, and I can choose another game. Just like that. So I think we went through Game Boy Color, then Game Boy. And I'll go through these a little bit quicker. Just kind of scrolling through. Got the Mega Mans. Metroid 2. Mickey Mouse. And I've got a bunch of these. Ton of these. Power Rangers. Mortal Kombat. That is a terrible game. Oh man. But I love it. Man, my brother used to get so mad when I would take his Mortal Kombat and his Game Boy. He'd get so pissed. But it was cool back then. Back in the early 90s. That was cool. Lots Ninja Boys, Ninja Shadow, Ninja Taro, Pack Attack, all the Pac-Man stuff. Page Master, Paperboy. I still have the physical of this, which is awesome. Paperboy 2, Pinocchio, Pocahontas, and then this is green version. I've got the English patch laid over on it, but it is the original Pokemon Green version. Blue and red. Team Rocket edition, which is pretty funny. You get to play as Jesse or James. So that's a Pokemon ROM hack. Primal Rage. Prince of Persia has come a long way. That game is super hard. Prophecy. The Punisher. Pyramids of Ra. Cubert. My buddy likes that. The Real Ghostbusters. I don't remember this one. I know it's Ren and Stimpy, but I don't remember playing this one. Robin Hood. RoboCop and the sequel. And RoboCop vs. Terminator, which is pretty sweet. The Rugrats movie. Samurai Showdown. Shanghai. The Simpsons. And then I'm just going to kind of scroll through here, because there's a lot here. There's a lot. Smurfs and Spider-Man and X-Men and Star Trek, Star Wars. Look at all these, man. And they all work exactly how you'd imagine. You know, you just press the start button and it starts right up. I can go from console generation to console generation to console generation, all just seamlessly on my ROG Ally. Just one console, and it just plays it all. So, plays it all. And then NES. Guess I'll show some of the harder stuff, because, I mean, as you guys can imagine, I mean, I got a ton of NES games. I mean, look at all these, dude. I mean, tons. Those are just the D's, G's. I got this on arcade too. It's pretty tough. I mean, you name it, guys. Legendary Wings. Oh, this one's awesome. I love this game on the original Nintendo. Me and my brother beat this one. Super hard game. Super hard game. Lion King. You can finally beat Lion King now that you have access to save states, which is pretty sweet. Yeah, but I don't want to bore you guys too much with all this old stuff. I know that y'all are mostly wanting to check out like probably some of the 3DS. So I've shown Ocarina of Time before. Some Pokemon. I don't have too much on here. Omega Ruby. Let's try that. I've got a save file on here for Omega Ruby. Okay, in editing for this part of the video, I had all kinds of stuff that I had forgotten to do as far as updates and things, so I thought I'd just go ahead and redo this section for the 3DS and showcase it. I was having issues with getting it to launch full screen and with my hotkeys and stuff like that, and it just needed an update. So once I got the update done, everything seems to have sorted itself out, and I had to add a couple of scripts, but everything's good. And we'll skip ahead. So this is Omega Ruby, like I said. This is a fantastic way to play any of your 3DS library. I haven't had any games that really had any trouble. You'll notice some minor stuttering right when you first launch the game, and a lot of the time that's due to shaders caching, having a cache and stuff like that. So before I get all into that, I'm a pretty good ways in this story. Let's see. You can see it's running really smoothly, which is really no surprise. This is a Windows 11 PC, so everything is pretty much going to run well if it can be emulated well. But like I said, you'll get a couple of little stutters here and there with some emulators, and that's just due to the shaders caching. But as you can see, my shaders have been cached here for this game, for this emulator, and everything's working really well. So I have it to where the small screen is like the touch screen, you know, but you can have that set up in all different kinds of ways. And then it's also, I mean, like I said, it is touchscreen, so you can come down here, you could touch it, or you could just use the physical buttons. All of that works. And you can make it full screen or Windows size. And then I have it set to where you can actually switch the screens on the fly. So if you wanted this to be the touch screen or whatever, you could do that, no problem. Let's see. So now this is the touch screen. And I have that set with the hotkey on the back, and then I guess this Windows key here. And it just made the most sense for me. So, yeah, that's a little bit of gameplay there. It plays like you would imagine. It plays really well. So, yeah, 3DS and the entire 3DS library that I've tried, which granted hasn't been that many games, but the ones that I have tried, I've had no issue with. So, yeah, just wanted to show that to you guys. Let's see. We got some Mugen fighters. Not very many, but I've got Hyper Dragon Ball Z and Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Earth. These are the only two that I put on here, but they're pretty sweet. Check out some of this. And once you set the controls up for this, it's it all just works. This is like an arcade fighter made by fans. Damn, Vegeta. So any of you arcade fighters are probably going to be much better at this kind of thing than me. Come on, get him. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, so this game's pretty sweet, guys. I haven't played it much, but I wish I could convince my friends to play this with me. That's another thing you can do. You could always hook up controllers and, you know, play with your friends. Yeah. So yeah, that's some Hyper Dragon Ball Z. Thought I'd show that. It's pretty cool. Definitely recommend checking this game out if you get a chance. It's a Windows game. You can make it work on Linux using Wine, but it's a lot more complicated of a process, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, that's Hyper Dragon Ball Z. And just exit that way. Yeah, pretty cool. Xbox 360. I think I got some. I got Fable 2 and Red Dead Redemption, which I now play the PC version of, which is so funny. But this plays really well actually on Xenia. It's Fable 2 that doesn't, and it hurts my heart. It hurts my heart. Fable 2 will work, but it will eventually crash on you using Xenia with the current build. So we'll have to see what comes about from the future of Xenia and what they do. I only have Mortal Kombat 2 on my arcade section. I actually have a Mortal Kombat arcade in my game room, so not a whole lot of reason to put a bunch of arcade games on there. Super Nintendo. Just lots of stuff for Super Nintendo. And, you know, if I'm going too fast through these or whatever, you guys just let me know. I'm still trying to figure this stuff out, what you guys are interested in, what you want to see, which gameplay you want to see. You know, so leave your feedback down in the comments. You know, what do you want to see more of? What do you want to see less of? How can I improve to make it a better viewing experience for you guys? Because I just do this for fun. So the more cool stuff that I can show you guys, or y'all can show me or tell me about, I'm all for it, guys. I really am. I'm all for it. I just want to check it all out. Some PSP. And all of this plays really well. PSP doesn't have much issue on here. PlayStation 3 I thought was going to not play great. But if you go back and check some of my previous videos, I've played a few of these from PS3, and they work great. So the Raging Blast games work great, and I don't have to bust out my old my Fat Boy PS3 to play them nowadays, which is fantastic. Fantastic. And I'll still go back and play this one over Sparking Zero some days, because this was quality. I mean, look at some of that. This is gameplay that I actually recorded on the ROG Ally, playing this exact game on the PlayStation 3 emulator. So this is my gameplay here that I recorded and just popped in here. And I mean, you can see how smooth it plays on the ROG Ally right there. I mean, it's just a really good game. I'm getting smoked. Did I say it was my gameplay? Yeah. Anyways, PS2, same thing, guys. All these play really well. My buddy checked out Matrix Path of Neo the other day, so he checked that out. It plays really well. Jak 2, Jet Li Rise to Honor, all the Harry Potters, Grand Theft Autos, the God of Wars, Dragon Quest 8, and then of course the Dragon Ball Z games of my childhood with Budokai Tenkaichi 2, 3, and then 4, which is the modded version, which I've talked about in a previous video. Really awesome stuff. I've actually modified the controls to be optimized more for a controller experience on Budokai Tenkaichi 4, so I can just plug it up to my TV and me and my buddies could play it together, which is pretty sweet. Then the old school Budokais, Devil May Cry and the trilogies, Def Jam Fight for New York, The Dark Clouds, Castlevanias, Yakuza, Ultimate Spider-Man, which is one of my absolute favorites, Tony Hawk's, Tenchu, Dragon Ball Z. A lot of people didn't play this one, but I think it's called Super Dragon Ball Z. This one was really cool. It was like one of the first arena fighters, like arcade style arena fighters that I played, and a lot of people haven't heard about this one. It's really good. It doesn't have like a massive cast of characters or anything like that, but it is a damn solid game. And I still have my physical version somewhere here. Actually, let me see if I can find it. Yo, okay, I definitely do. Still got it. It's crazy. Look at that. Yeah, so sorry, I had to just nerd out for a second there. I keep all my PS2 games pretty close by, so pretty cool stuff there. Sorry about that. Anybody that's been on the channel for a while knows I get distracted easy. Web of Shadows, the PS2 version, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man, classics, Shinobi, Resident Evil, Psyops, all my Prince of Persias. I love this franchise so much. Played all of them. Underground 2, Underground, Need for Speed Most Wanted, the Ultimate Ninja series. Not terrible. It's not terrible. Those were pretty fun. Shaolin Monks. They really need to do a remaster of Shaolin Monks. Like, I'm ready for that. My body is ready for a remaster of Shaolin Monks. This was one of my favorites. Deception. Good game. Deadly Alliance. Armageddon. And then back to Matrix. So, you know, and then all the Kingdom Hearts, of course. PlayStation. Got some Hercules. This was actually, fun fact, this was the first Dragon Ball Z game I ever played. It's called, I think the way you'd pronounce it in English is like Dragon Ball Z Idanaru. Oh, there it is. Idanaru Densetsu. So Dragon Ball Legends. This was the first Dragon Ball Z game I ever played, which I had to modify my PlayStation 1 to be able to play it because it only played on Japanese PlayStation. So I was modding back in the 90s, for those who didn't know. Marvel vs. Capcom, of course. Mortal Kombat 4. Sub-Zero, also have that on 64. Trilogy, probably my favorite Mortal Kombat game. It's right up there. Spec Ops because my buddy just could not let me not have Spec Ops on here. I'm not a huge fan of the Spec Ops. I'm sorry if you guys are, but my buddy has made me put so many hours into this, and we barely got past the second level. So, Spider-Man. This was a pretty good one for back in the day. Tekken 3. Yep, classic. X-Men versus Street Fighter for the PlayStation. Xena. I liked that one a lot as a kid. It's a pretty terrible game, though, objectively, but I enjoyed it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories with the card fusions. I definitely have good memories of this. I still got my physical of this somewhere. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Hercules, and then back around. Yep. Got some Dreamcast. Sonic 2. Soul Calibur. Star Wars. I think that just plays okay. Something about how that game was coded, or how it was developed. I don't know. It's tough to play. I don't remember putting that one even on there, but cool. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. A couple of other randoms. Virtua Tennis. Some World Series games. Royal Rumble. Zombie Revenge. That one's pretty cool. Border Down. And then I showed off some Crazy Taxi. I actually showed off how to set this particular emulator and game up on one of my last videos, so you guys can see the whole process there of how I added that into the system. We're getting pretty long in the video. I just wanted to show y'all basically everything I had on here really quickly. Didn't work out really quickly. I may edit some of it. And then all the way back around. And then I don't have much on Wii U. Some Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Twilight Princess with some mods. So this is the Hero of Time edition. It basically just makes it to where Link is in a different suit. Hyrule Warriors and Pokken Tournament, and boom, that's it. Not a huge fan of the Wii U, but I got it on there. The Wii, I've got some cool stuff. Clash of Ninja 3, Clash of Ninja 2, Super Mario Brothers, and Paper Mario, and then Avatar. Y'all have to let me know about this one. I've never really played it, but it looked interesting, so I popped it on here. Yeah, and guys, that's more or less it. That's basically all the consoles that I have on here. I'm not running anything off of the SD card. You know, I put a 2 terabyte internal drive in the unit, so I've not had a need to. And then again, once I exit everything, you know, once I exit my big box setup, I'm back here on the main menu and just back to playing games. Can do whatever you want. This is a Windows 11 PC. All my controls go back to being normal. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I appreciate y'all sticking around for the long video. Like I said, you know, I put timestamps down there, but I appreciate you guys checking it out. And if you can think of anything else that you want to see with the ROG Ally, with my modded Nintendo Switch, with my modded custom-built arcades, or even my game room that I recently built, y'all just let me know. All right, appreciate you guys. Take care. Later.